Danny Gilfillan for Boxing News, delighted to be joined on my side by Jack Catterall. Jack, how are we doing? Bit of a quiet time for yourself, bit of time off, few holidays?
Yeah, it's been good. Had a nice little break with the family. Back now, back to the gym, and I'm excited now to get stuck in, fight again back end of the year.
Well, we're hearing some big talks. It's been, from what we understand, agreed verbally. We're going to see Jack Cat over in Riyadh season. Any more advancement on that and talks on opponent potentially?
Ongoing discussions between Sam Jones and Eddie, so I believe that will happen back end of the year. I'm in next week for a small eye operation. That one goes well. I've been reassured that I'll be fine to fight in November, December.
We'll come on to potential names because there are some big names being discussed, but want to first of all go back to the Harlem Eubank fight. When you reflect on that, I mean, not the way anyone wants a fight to end, I'm sure not a fighter, certainly not fans. Is it any sort of sense of frustration, or are you sort of happy to bank the win and move on?
You know what? A win's a win. Not in the fashion that I liked. It was frustrating. I didn't get to go and show out and cement the victory how I anticipated. But that being said, it's done now. Nothing can be changed, and we move on.
It was a big step up from Harlem in the 6.5 rounds you did share. It did look like you were a bit too much for him at that stage. Have you got any thoughts on Harlem's ceiling, where he can go? I know Sam Jones has talked about a potential fight between him and Conor Walker, obviously a stalemate of yours. Is that a fight you'd interest you, and where do you see the future for Harlem?
Yeah, I really don't know. I feel like you're talking about an undefeated fighter who's had some decent victories. But yeah, feel like he come to Manchester, he give it the big, and he was going to come knock me out, do this, that, the other. He turned up, he wanted to run around the ring, he wanted to wrestle, weren't throwing many punches. Feel like I was winning the rounds, judging the time and the distance. It's kind of making it my own fight, really. And I anticipated that, although he said he was going to come knock me out, I didn't believe him. For me, it was about coming off a defeat to Barboza, being cautious, not making any stupid mistakes, staying disciplined. And the game plan from the get-go was the second half of the fight to really suffocate him out of the fight, but didn't get to show that. When he did come to attack, he was attacking from way out. Don't feel like there's much thought behind some of his decisions in the ring. I think people who see me fight can understand our certainly boxing enthusiasts appreciate the skills and the discipline and the small stuff. Harlem was lunging in from a big distance with his head, with not much thought, which ultimately caused both of the cuts on him and me.
Now, I talked a bit at the start there about the potential appearance in Riyadh season. Now, did that all really come about because Rich Reno had a pop at you? You've sort of cooked him on Twitter, and then from what we understand, that's where the negotiations came from. Was that really the catalyst for it, your wee back and forth with Rick?
100%. They kind of made the comments, which we take with a pinch of salt. And he's like, listen, we'll get you out, we'll give you a fight. Hopefully they deliver somebody who thinks or who's going to come and try and beat me, and I can go out there, do what I need to do, show them the level and beat them.
Now, we've had all this Tom and Jerry stuff. I think it was Turki Al-Sheikh first talked about it, and Shakur Stevenson, after his fight with William Zepeda, said, you know, I did feel a bit of pressure to maybe stay in the pocket and hold my feet a bit more than otherwise would. Has that seeped into your thinking at all? You've touched on the way you box. People who know their boxing and understand their boxing do appreciate it, but has there been any feeling like, oh, I need to, you know, stand and trade a bit more? I know it's not what you've done, it's not what's gave you the success you've had, but given these comments from people and the whole Tom and Jerry stuff, has that creeped into your thinking at all?
Of course it has. We're seeing it now on Twitter, online, and of course you want to be appealing and put the fights on that the fans and the people. End of the day, we're fighters, but we're under a company, whether that's Eddie Hearn, X, Y, and Z. And of course, they want to deliver great fights for the fans. Now, I think sometimes, unfortunately, like my last fight, stylistically, it didn't become that. But I think we've seen it certainly like the Taylor fights, etc., where I can really go out and force the pace, maybe on the front foot, but styles don't always gel. But with the comments online, yeah, you do have to take it into consideration. End of the day, boxing's a product, and people are going to tune into a product they like. I'm fortunate enough that I surround myself with a lot of good people who, not even surround myself, but I speak to a lot of people who appreciate the boxing IQ and the ring craft, and appreciate not everybody does, so you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but certainly a thought that you've got to keep close.
Some of the names that you're being linked to are amongst the biggest in the sport. You've got Romero, Ryan Garcia. When you're hearing that, and you say discussions are ongoing, it must, the excitement must be crazy. Like a potential fight between you and Ryan Garcia.
These are the fights over the last couple of years that I've dreamed of, big world title fights. And I feel like I'm obviously I was in a final eliminator against Barboza, didn't go as planned. We don't cry over spilt milk. Back to the drawing board, picked up a victory, not in the fashion we wanted, but we're now in a position now where I'm ready. I've accepted all the fights. We want to fight these guys, and if Rick or Turkey or somebody thinks they can beat me, come on, let's have it. Let's do it.
You mentioned you want world titles. Now there's an all matchroom fight for a world title at welterweight in September between Lewis Crocker and Paddy Donovan. And I asked at the press conference, was Jack Catterall a fight that would be a possibility for the winner? And before that, Eddie had said the winner of this can go on and fight Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, and your name wasn't mentioned. Is that Eddie just playing the promotion game, linking that fight to the biggest fighters, the commercial stars, or has there been any conversations about maybe the winner of that fight for a world title that you've alluded so far?
Definitely a fight we're going to be watching and keeping an eye on. That'll be ultimately Eddie Matchroom's decision, and I'll certainly be putting my name forward for that fight if it can be made. I understand it as a business move. Obviously, you want the guys with the biggest profiles who's had world titles before, but I'll be ready if the opportunity comes.
I guess I'm sort of putting you on the spot here, but if it was the winner of Crocker Donovan for a world title or Ryan Garcia in a Riyadh season show, what way does that weigh up?
You know what, I would just love to fight for a world title no matter what. Obviously, if you go with the Ryan Garcia fight, there's going to be a lot more traction, a lot more views. We love that fight. I would love to fight in America. I've not done that yet, so that'd be something I'd like to do. That being said, I'd be absolutely honoured to fight over here or in Ireland against the winner of Crocker Donovan.
How do you see that fight between Crocker and Donovan playing out, based on what we saw the first time?
It'd be interesting to see who's made the adjustments, but I anticipate a Donovan win.
Now, we saw the news a few weeks ago. Josh Taylor, a man you of course know very well, shared a lot of time around him and of course in the ring with him, announced his retirement. Just a word on Josh, because I know the build up and the back and forth was what it was, but when he announced his retirement, is the feeling any different?
No, not really. Sent a small message on Twitter. All the best. Our names are etched together now. We've shared 24 rounds together. There's no ill feeling towards him. I don't wish him any harm. I'm not going to be messaging him, asking him to go for a beer, but yeah, listen, he's got his health. He's completed boxing. Wish him all the best.
Jack, thanks for the time. We'll let you on, top man.
Thank you very much.